This is Connections by OceanSpray 5, read by Songs of the River. Summary. Marinette may have more important connections than she lets on, but unlike a certain someone, she doesn't flaunt it. Credit to this podfic goes to the author OceanSpray 5 and the source of the headcanon, which is from My Insanity is an Art Form on Tumblr. It wasn't common knowledge. Then again, Marinette never liked flaunting it in other people's faces that they were related. What did it matter anyway, she thought. It was her uncle's position, not hers. She had no business going about rubbing it in people's faces. True, the idea had tempted her once or twice when Chloe got too annoying or when they needed something that could be fixed by a quick phone call to her Uncle Henry. But ultimately, Marinette was better than that. It was wrong to abuse privilege, so she never actually went through with it. It wasn't something well known by her closest friends either. Her aunt, Lillian Dupain, had married her Uncle Henry when she was 5 years old. So, aside from a few easily overlooked articles in the newspaper every once in a while, no one could tell the Dupain Changs were related to the famous Allards. No one had ever asked her, so Marinette never felt the need to mention. Marinette liked it that way, and so did the rest of her family. It was much easier to spend time with her uncle and aunt when they refused to have the press follow them and her family on their outings. No unnecessary questions and media nitpicking was involved. It was calm and peaceful, and it was easy to pretend that she wasn't walking with the most well-known couple in Paris. After all, family time was family time. No press and paparazzi involved. No one knew, but Marinette herself got enough of it as Ladybug. She was glad for her secret identity. Her uncle and aunt came at least once every month, and Marinette looked forward to their visits greatly. She recalled a time where she had been practically bouncing on her feet in anticipation during her nightly betrothed chat. "My lady, are you feeling all right? You seem particularly bouncy today," the concerned boy had asked. She couldn't be drunk, and Chat Noir doubted she had a sugar rush. "I'm fine, Chat. Just my uncle and aunt are coming for a visit. I'm excited." The words were out of her mouth before she had a chance to filter them. Then she shrugged internally. Talking about her uncle and aunt didn't necessarily clue him into her identity. She went back to excitedly skipping over roofs as she thought about the finishing touches she could make on a new dress for her aunt. Marinette liked making little gifts every month for them. It excited her even more when her aunt and uncle wore her gifts in public. The press asked, and they dutifully replied that their niece had gifted them. They never gave her name, as per family agreement, but promised once she hit the big leagues, everyone would know her so well they wouldn't need to mention who she was. Marinette was thankful for that. She didn't want to get into the fashion industry because of who she was related to. She wanted to make it there on her own. That didn't stop her uncle and aunt from doting on her, though. She was their only niece, and they had no children of their own. It had gotten to the extent where as soon as Marinette mentioned a new fabric or a fashion show, the phone was already in Uncle Henry's hands, ready to make the call. Marinette immensely appreciated it, and her family loved seeing her face as she animatedly told them about the newest line released by designers. She had more than once attended Gabriel Agreste shows. Her aunt and uncle found it extremely amusing when she accidentally let it slip that, "Adrian looks so handsome tonight." Unsurprisingly, said handsome boy never found out, because the twin-tailed girl was too shy to go and greet him at the after-party, which she less than often attended. Finally, Tom and Sabine gave him a compromise. Uncle Henry was only allowed to stupidly spend money on Marinette during special occasions like Christmas or birthdays. That didn't stop him from inventing his own holidays, along with using general holidays as a front for his doting habits. Regardless, Marinette ended up with some sort of gift every month from her uncle and aunt, no matter how small. It had been an accident when it happened. They were having their second monthly dinner. Uncle Henry and Aunt Lillian had cleared up their schedule that month and didn't have any events to attend, so dinner at the paying Chang's was customary. How's school, Mari? Aunt Lillian asked. It's great. Last week Nina wanted to try again for the Parisian Student Short Film Fair contest. Principal Democles agreed, so we're going to start filming next month. The festival isn't until March, so we have time. Who are the leads this time? Sabine asked. Kim and Alex. They agreed. Tom looked up from his chow mein. Marinette had been complaining on the phone to Alia about how Kim and Alex would never agree to participate in the type of play you and Nina wrote. The play in question was a class attempt to get the two headstrong athletes together. So far, things weren't looking good, but Max was looking for an optimum way to set the situation up as a dare that Kim was never going to refuse, and Alex would be dragged in. Well, we haven't exactly, told them yet. I do hope you have a backup plan. I'll be sure to come to the film festival this year to check out your school's video, Mari. Uncle Henry grinned. Well, Chloe has demanded she be in it, so maybe Nathaniel will agree to be in it with her. No one else will, but then again, no one listens to her. What about you and Adrian? Aunt Lillian hid her smile behind her napkin as her niece turned rose. I told Ollie not to. Besides, I'm producing again this year. The adults shared a look. Henry and Lillian had never met Alia save for that one time years ago when Marinette was 7, but both had heard a lot and were pretty sure that the auburn-haired journalist had at least 20 tricks up her sleeve to play out the situation as she wanted to. Anyway, Marinette declared loudly, Career Day is next week, on Wednesday. All the parents are turning up again. And Dad, last time everyone loved the croissants. This time I was thinking we bake one of Maman's favorite Chinese pastries and take that instead. Tom and Sabine shared a sad look. I'm sorry, sweetie, but we both can't come next week. We're going to cater for the Polonius party, remember? It's too late to cancel, otherwise we would come. Oh. Marinette stifled her disappointment. She understood why her parents couldn't come and didn't hold it against them. Next year, then? Hold on a second, Uncle Henry cut in. Why don't we come instead? Your aunt has a ladies' botanical garden party next week, but I'm free. Marinette perked up. Really? In her excitement, she forgot that no one knew her relation to one of the most powerful politicians in France. Of course. Lily, is your party on Wednesday? I'm afraid so, but I'll try to drop by before it starts. Brunch is at 11, so I'm sure I can be there for a little bit before. With that, plans were decided. Everything worked out beautifully, and no one remembered the tiny important detail. It was not much of any importance to any of them as a family. They were all regular people at the dinner table. Maybe that's why it had been so easy to forget. Marinette had been the last to present her family member for Career Day. Her uncle had texted her saying that they had a change of plans. Her Aunt Lillian's party started a little earlier than expected, so she had to be dropped off, and only Uncle Henry could make it to Career Day. Marinette indulged herself in learning about the other careers. She nearly squealed in joy when Gable aggressed himself turned up to talk about the fashion industry. It was a dream come true, and had seemed the whole class knew. Even Adrian could help but grin at the adorable girl as she dutifully took notes in her sketchbook. He made a mental note to introduce her to his father right before he left. Finally, it was Marinette's turn. Her uncle was almost there, so she went up to the front of the room and apologized before explaining he would be there shortly. That didn't stop Chloe in her rude mouth. First your parents bail on you? And now your uncle and aunt too? I don't believe them. Then again, they're related to you, so it wouldn't matter even if they showed up anyway. I'm sure nobody here is opening a bakery except you. Marinette turned red as she saw the mayor of Paris join in on his daughter's cruel laughter. Her back straightened as she got ready to defend her family. "I'll have you know that—" The raven-haired girl was cut off as a middle-aged man burst into the room, slightly out of breath. He was broad-shouldered and sturdily built, and his black suit, although not of designer brand, was clearly well made. "I'm so sorry I'm late. I had to drop off my wife, and the traffic was horrible." Jaws dropped, and even crickets grew silent, as everyone stared with bulging eyes at the man who had just entered and hugged Marinette tightly as if she were his own daughter. Marinette was not the kind of girl to feel unnecessarily proud of connections, as Chloe would call it. If she had her way, they wouldn't even exist, as they held no importance in her mind. Kindness, family, love, and good values held importance for her. But if anyone had asked her in that moment how she felt when her uncle proceeded to greet all the other parents amiably, he even let slip to Mr. Agrest that she had designed the pristine black suit he was wearing, including the mayor, before explaining how he got to his political position, she would be lying if she said she didn't feel a twinge of satisfaction at seeing Chloe and her father's face grow slack-jawed when the door opened and in walked in her uncle, Henry Allard, the President of France. Thank you for listening. This was read by Tongue of the River. Please check out OceanSpray 5 and her other stuff. The link will be in the description. Thank you for listening. Songs out.